Hey guys, Zen here, and today I wanted to bring you guys 3 massive updates for Rainbow Six Siege. There's new Operation when Bastion details, some leaks, a complete 360, and a lot more, so let's do this. First up, some big news, and it's that the official Glaz Elite has leaked and been posted over on Reddit. So this image is actually coming from Obutu3 over on Twitter, so make sure you guys give him a follow and tell him Zen sent you. But as you can see, it's called the Lethal Citizen, and to be honest, it's absolutely nothing like what I was expecting for the Glaz Elite. But that's totally okay because I absolutely love it. So it doesn't look like it does much for his main rifle or the scope gadget, and as we know, the gadgets get a reskin with all of these elites, so I'm assuming this won't be the final look of his main rifle or scope. Back when the Doc Elite was leaked, his gadget didn't have a reskin at that point, but then of course when it was released it did, so this is obviously early and was most likely dug up from within the test server files. Now of course, let's not forget that Blitz the Nightmare is getting his elite uniform this week, and I'll definitely be bringing you guys some content on that because I think it's about time I've spent more time with Blitz. I think he's so scary because I've never really used him, so I don't really know what it feels like to be in a bad situation with him. So when the Panzerstark Elite releases, I'm gonna give him a try. But for you Blitz mains out there, what is your biggest fear with this operator, and what kind of things should I expect when starting my journey with him? Let me know down below. Our next update is actually a complete reversal in 360 to the recent censorship initiative Ubisoft was putting in place. For those of you guys who don't know, Ubisoft had announced that they would be toning back a lot more of the suggestive art within the game to help the game move into Eastern territories, especially the Chinese market. Now, some of the examples they gave were some icon changes and some pretty significant changes coming to the maps in the game. Things like removing the slot machines from Clubhouse, as well as most of the skull imagery throughout the game. But now they've basically reverted all of that, and none of these changes will be put in place. Now, they posted a blog about this, and what's really important to note here is that as a player, you probably won't see any real impact of these decisions. By the time Operation When Bastion is released, most if not all of these things mentioned will be as you know them today. There are a few questions though. First, what about the players in Asia? They go on to say, current players in Asian territories can continue enjoying the same game as the other players. And the second question is, why now? Ubisoft says, we have been following the conversation with our community closely over the past couple of weeks, alongside regular discussions with our internal Ubisoft team, and we want to ensure that the experience for all of our players, especially those that have been with us from the beginning, remains as true to the original artistic intent as possible. So really, this is only a good thing. I mean, the fact that Ubisoft is taking a step back, listening to the community, and being totally transparent about this topic, to me shows they really do care, especially about the veteran players. And honestly, that's the best part about posts like this. Really, when you think about it, they could have done what a lot of other companies do and just let it all slowly fizzle out, but they didn't want to leave that bad taste in the community's mouth, so they changed it, and I'm actually happier than I thought I'd be about it. Now, with all that being said, we could see a delay with Operation When Bastion because of this decision. By now, they probably had the game fully censored and ready to ship worldwide, but now they're going back, and I'm sure it's probably a bigger undertaking than many of us realize, so again, there could be a delay in new content. But honestly, that's really the only downside to this, because Rainbow should be and now is being depicted accurately based on what it is. I mean, if you go to a strip club, you're not gonna see a gigantic glowing hand. It was definitely a smart play, but something I don't think you'd expect to see. So let me know your thoughts on this change. I'm sure there are many of you guys out there that are extremely happy about this, so let me know down below. Last up, we have the latest When Bastion patch notes, and as many of you guys are probably aware, Mute now has access to the SMG-11, but let's go over everything else. So we can start with the new shop menu screen. They say the Rainbow Six shop is getting a facelift. We're improving the user experience and we're including a new full screen view for weapons. A new light theme has also been added to the full screen view and players can browse left and right within a category. Starting with Operation When Bastion, shop items are now accessible from the news tab. Players can also opt to equip an item right away. If a particular item or skin is available for multiple weapons or operators, players can select equip all at the bottom left of the screen. Now, the store has been an area of the game that's desperately needed an improvement for a long time. I know back when I played on console, the load times were ridiculous, so I'm glad this is getting an upgrade. Moving on, we have some balancing changes. First up, yes, one of my personal favorite operators is getting access to the SMG-11, and not only that, the SMG-11 is getting a slight damage buff. So Mute now has access to the SMG-11 as a secondary option, and this is a change I'm totally in love with. Next, a buff to Clash's Taser. It's going from doing 3 damage damage to 5. They say Clash is way too weak and underpicked as a result, so she's going to be a little more challenging to continuously put pressure on with this buff. Next, Lesion is getting a slight damage decrease to his main SMG. They're actually not nerfing his gadget, which I'm really happy about, but the SMG is being toned down a little bit. Sophia will be losing another concussion grenade, bringing her count to 2 impact and 2 concussion. Currently, she has too many projectiles and offers a little too much utility for her team. And finally, Smoke is seeing the same SMG 11 buff that Mute is. So overall, these changes are amazing in my opinion. Even though I use Sophia quite a bit, I definitely understand how much utility she brings with all of her nades. But that's it. Please don't nerf her anymore. I think anything more and she'll start to feel a little hollow. Now, I plan on talking about this a little more in depth with a future video, but Clash is in a absolutely terrible spot right now. I honestly don't think that this change will do much for her, and she's really gonna need a lot this season to stay relevant, especially against Nomad. It's unfortunate, but I'm thinking Clash will be seeing even less play even with this buff. Now, when it comes to Lesion, I think we all honestly saw some kind of nerf coming, and again, I'm actually really happy it's not to his gadget, because I think every Lesion player understands that the balance comes from him not having access to all the goo from the start. If you want to be successful with Lesion, you need to play smart and last with him until the very end to be truly effective. But that's pretty much everything, guys. That's 3 updates for Rainbow Six Siege. Now, of course, I want to hear from you. What do you think of the leaked Glaz Elite? And do you see yourself playing any more Mute now that he's got the SMG 11? Let me know everything in a comment down below. If you did enjoy this video, please drop a like and subscribe with notifications if you're new. With that being said, it's been Zen. Hey, I'm out.